following is a presentation of the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. Student-led, student-centered, student-serving.
Welcome in, everybody, to the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. My name is Carly Evans. Alongside with me is the one, the only Brielle Halloran. How are we feeling today, Brielle?
I'm feeling great today, Carly. How are you feeling?
Honestly, pretty great. This was kind of unexpected for me. I just kind of came up here wanting to call the first 2 or 3 plays of the game, but here we are, and the audience is stuck with both you and me today, so
yes.
It looks like we're doing a little bit of a mix-up today. As your Frederick Volleyball team on the season is sitting at 10-9, so kind of split 50-50 right now so far. They have lost their last 3 games, and it's one of those where, like, momentum swing-wise, that's really going to impact you, and so something that they really have to keep in mind is the fact that, you know, in order to get that mentality boost, you got to win this game and you got to come out ferocious and strong, which is something that they've kind of struggled with these past 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a really good game. Monarch 14-4. I could just see it now, you know?
Exactly. I mean, Monarch is not coming to play. Even watching them during warm-ups, they were putting their all into it, and it was kind of terrifying to watch, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they've got this girl. She is a beast. They've really got to watch out for her.
100%. And honestly, Monarch has a few of those too. Some of those memorable players that, you know, you just got to keep in mind. And if you're Frederick, you really got to double down and take a look at her and say, hey, we know that she's a threat, so we have to make sure that we keep that in mind and keep that in the forefront whenever we're focusing on her.
Yes.
As we're going to send it down to the sideline now with Megan Curtis. Megan. And thank you so much, Megan, for that. Never mind, scratch that. Thank you, Megan, for the attempted hit. It looks like we were having some audio difficulties. So for those of you who are watching, I completely apologize for some of the audio difficulties. As, you know, one of my favorite parts about calling sports that I don't typically call is I know most of these seniors. And it's one of those where it's almost a little memorable for me because this is probably the only volleyball game that I'll end up calling. And so it's one of those where, hey, I'm going to take this and enjoy it as much as I possibly can.
Yes, and on the note of that, this is my first volleyball game ever, like,
whoop, whoop.
Yes.
We're winging it today, ladies and gentlemen. But hey, winging it was never a bad thing, honestly. What can I say? As I was talking about previously, kind of talking a little bit about Frederick and their schedule. They have had back-to-back pretty difficult games. On the 7th, they played Legacy and they lost. Didn't win a single set, and that has been the continuation that I was talking about as we saw that repetition with Niwot then losing 3 sets, not winning any, and then we also saw that with Meade too, just a few days prior, which some of them took really to heart. I was talking with some of them, specifically Kyla Verostic, who's, you know, one of the players, and she's one of their standout players for sure, but, you know, just getting to talk with her, one of the biggest things that she mentioned was that really plays an impact into you whenever you lose against your rivals. And specifically, we know how it's like with some of those Meade matchups. I mean, those are ferocious, and those are not taken lightly.
Cancer is a battle that affects so many families. In fact, 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime, making it one of the most common cancers.
As tonight is our breast cancer awareness night, so we will be seeing a lot of themes of pink.
Tonight, we will be sponsoring a student at FHS who is going through his own battle. Yair Jimenez is fighting type B leukemia. He was diagnosed on August 14, 2025. As his treatment was going well, he was able to return to school on September 18th. He then was cleared and able to play in his first soccer game on October 2nd. We're hosting a bake sale and a huge silent auction with amazing gift baskets, and players will be walking around with a basket for cash donations to raise funds that will go directly to Yair and his family to help support them in this tough time. Let's come together, enjoy some baked goods, and bid generously on the auction items. knowing that every contribution will help Yair and his family who are directly affected with this horrible disease. We ask at this time if you are comfortable and willing to stay standing, if you are currently fighting or have fought cancer, we will be passing around flowers to you at this time.
As a moment now for members of our community, our beloved FHS community, and those just extending beyond that, you know, grandparents, other people, a moment of just silence and remembrance for the battle that cancer is.
Yes. Somebody who has battled cancer, to please stand and be welcomed and joined in celebrating your life.
You know, it's truly very impactful to see, honestly. It really touches your heartstrings.
Yes.
I mean, it really does. And it's incredible to see those who, you know, have battled or are currently battling have the courage to, you know, stand up, take ownership for it. I mean, that is huge right there. And so, you know, nothing but blessings their way.
Good luck and go Golden Eagles.
And now, please stand, remove your hats, and join
As
me
we're going to
in
go down
welcoming
for the
Mountain
Pledge of
Michael Brown
Allegiance now after
from
that.
the legendary group Sean Anna with the playing of our national anthem.
As in all honesty, I don't think I've heard a version quite that beautiful. No, I mean, and it's so unique. It's not every day that you hear someone bust out the instrument.
Yeah, I mean, wow. That was great.
Wearing number 1, Amalia Van Nelson.
As they're running through their rosters, why don't we take a peek, Brielle, at some of your keys that you have for this game? What are your keys to this game?
Yes. Okay, so my first key is mental recuperation.
Big word right there.
Yes, took me a minute to read it. That's a big thing, you know, like with their losses and coming into this game and it being pink night, they really have to just like lock in and work hard and trust that their teammates can do these things and really recuperate mentally.
It's a fun word to say, but I mean, honestly, there's nothing else that fits it quite as accurately as the word recuperate.
Yes.
It's something that, you know, you have to bounce back from. And that's something that they do have to take into accountability is what will it take to bounce back? What's your mental capacity for this game?
So my second key is block down the middle. And back to the girl I was talking about, her name is Ava Malawako. Her stats pretty good. She's doing really good this season. They really just have to pay attention to that middle, know when to go up, watch the setter. Yeah.
100%. I was going to say, you talked about Ava Maluauco, and you talked about her statistics. Her kills per set, she's averaging almost 3 kills per set. And she's one of those where she has 35 total blocks. She is honestly insane to watch. She's 34 serving aces, and so it's one of those where she is definitely competition to keep an eye out for, as you were saying.
Yes, and my third key, watch the line. This is also a big thing, like going back to both of my keys. I mean, with her being so good, they do have to really watch that line, make sure that they get the ball. And then same with like that's been a problem in these past games, not watching the line, and they just really need to watch it,
100%. And, it's one of those where just kind of looking at some of Monarch's statistics, not only just Maluauco, but it's one of those where looking at some of their other players too, they have overall, I would just have to say the team is very well-rounded, which is something that Frederick does have to keep in mind. And, talking with some of the varsity players, one of the biggest things that they were nervous about is just keeping up with the pacing of Monarch.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Monarch is one of those where just based on their ferocity that they've demonstrated so far in the season, this is something that Frederick really has to be cognizant of is, am I staying on par with Monarch's potential, and are we adding our own potential too to the mix? Because Frederick has so much potential. Looking at past their, 3 games that they lost, it's one of those where they weren't necessarily really having that many problems during the season. It was one of those where I believe they were sitting at 10-6 prior to those past 3 losses. And so it's one of those where, a little more tip to the scale of, the appeasement of Frederick. And so it's one of those where really right now it's just breaking out of that cycle, as you said, that mental recuperation, bringing yourself back, centering yourself in this game. That is going to be crucial for Frederick.
Yes. And they are going to have to stay positive too. Positivity is a huge thing.
100%. It's one of those where it's funny because all the sports that I've done, out of all of them, I would have to say that like every single one, it's that mental game. Really, it truly is. And it's one of that's something that comes with sports is what is your mental capacity, mental capability for this game? Can you stay positive even when the odds aren't in your favor? As I got a little tongue twisted right there, almost sounded like I was, quoting the Hunger Games. May the odds forever be in your favor, but hopefully they are in Frederick's favor though tonight.
Yes.
As we are going to be starting this off, looks like Monarch is going to have possession. As that is Eva Betched back to serve. And serve is live. Staub hits it. Tembrock, Reed back over the net as they will find the open gap. But it looks like just a little bit of unpreparedness, I guess, for Monarch and their ferocity up against the net. As Betched back to serve. She'll serve again. Reed, Tembrock fights Staub. Staub tries to just barely squeak it over that net. Monarch, they're holding their ground. Betched once again, third serve in a row. And this time, beautiful serve from Betched. You can tell she's proud of it as Raymer tried to go low, hit it back up. That'll be no good. Just a little too low for Raymer.
This is where that positivity has to come in.
Agreed. I was about to say, you're already down 3-0. So it's something to keep in mind is, the very first 3 serves of this game, already they haven't played in your favor, but this shouldn't be a game changer. This shouldn't be the moment that, you throw a hissy fit and you're like, well, great, we're losing, this stinks. And so it's one of those where, as you said, keep that positivity very much in the forefront for them. As Betched, this will be her 4th serve. Betched, she's looked pretty spot on, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I could 100% agree with that.
As Staub just trying to recuperate, the big word of tonight, recuperate, as Betched. And Gianna Morse hit will just go flying, tumbling, one could say, out of bounds, not the direction they wanted it to go. Once again, communication, that mental capacity, how are they going to combat it? Already down 4-0. Betched once again, her name becoming prominent. Stop, Tenbrock trying to find a spot to bring it over. As we're seeing some communication issues from Frederick. And Raymer trying to hit it over that net once again. Raymer lowballed it. Nothing that they can't regroup from. Betched once again. Frederick's rowdy crowd trying to, disrupt their headspaces. Betched going to prep them. It'll go right over their head. Stop though. Moore blocked at the net. What a job to get the hand up over Moore, trying to get in her headspace. It definitely worked. Frederick trying to stay positive. Now 6-zip. Betched once again. Staub didn't fall for it. That'll fly right on out of bounds. Finally, Frederick regaining their footing a little bit, as this is their first point of the night.
Maybe they'll be a little bit more positive after this point they just got.
100%. Couldn't have said it better myself. As Tenbrock is back there to serve. Tenbrock hits it over.
Nice and solid. Oh.
And somehow, looks like that was Ava Malkowo, the one that we were talking about pregame, the threat that they have up close and personal at that net. She is something to keep an eye out for. As once again, Monarch, this time that'll be Kate Shima back there to serve. Tenbrock able to keep this alive, but it'll be to no avail. So they're going to take a timeout. Coach KK trying to regroup and hopefully rekindle the fire that we saw in this Frederick team just a few games prior. I mean, we saw that ferocity, that competition that was well reasoned and alive within them. They just need to find that spark again.
Yeah, it's looking really tough out there.
We will be right back here on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. My name is Carly Evans. Alongside with me is the one, the only, the legend, Brielle Halloran. Brielle, how are we feeling so far during this game? What are some trends that you're seeing?
I mean, they aren't communicating very well. I feel like they aren't trusting their teammates, and I talked about both those things earlier. There we go. Point for us.
Finally, it's one of those where these have come very scarce so far in this game, but it's one of those, as we talked about, just rekindling that fire that we've seen in some of those prior games for Frederick is going to be very crucial, as finally Frederick able to knock on another point, looking at 2-8 in this first set. So still trailing, but hopefully trying to relight their fire as they are able to bump it over by Martinez. Tenbrock, Reed tries to find that gap. Beautiful gap by Reed. Able to find that open spot, place it beautifully down, making sure that it was in a spot where none of them could possibly get it. As Moore is back to serve. Moore over the net and way over into our rowdy crowd. Thank you, Monarch. Well, parent rowdy crowd, I wouldn't say. The actual rowdy crowd.
They're looking very, very, okay, excited for this game.
I can see it, 100%, as we have one of our students down there. Looks like he's wearing a a blow-up pig inflatable costume.
I mean, wow.
Oh, that's full dedication. I had to take off my sweatshirt I was sweating, so I
Yeah,
can't imagine
yeah.
being in the pig costume. I mean, I was one of the weird kids that wore a dinosaur suit one year, so I know the heat that builds up in that. As Tembrock placing it for Reed. Reed! Oh! Finishing it off! Ava Reed! Nasty once again as she tacks on another point for Frederick, as this has become a little bit more evenly matched. We're looking at 5-9 now for this first set. So Reed trying to make a statement, and she has done so far in this game. Monarch, we saw, they came out firing, but it's one of those where if you can't keep up with that, I don't know, it tends to bite you in the butt, as we're going to see Betch trying to get it over. Betch once again, as that'll be Singh back over. Tembrock sets it for more. Tembrock trying to keep it alive. Reed, can she do the magic we've seen? Tembrock! Staub able to hit it over. As Betch, Tembrock keeps it alive. Staub, can they finish it off? It's all just that mental game now. Staub, Tembrock, Raymer. Singh trying to keep it alive as we see it go back to Shima. Tembrock, Reed.
Oh, what a rally.
What a rally it was, and although it didn't really pay off in their favor, that was oddly impressive.
Yes.
I mean, watching them, you saw Tembrock with the low hit. Pretty much, I thought it touched the ground, to be honest.
Oh,
She was able to keep it alive, though. That was impressive. As Monarch is back to serve. Once again, Tembrock setting it for Strojing. Strojing fighting that lethal corner up close near that net. Beautiful placement by Addie Strojing. As Raymer is back to serve for Frederick. Still trailing, but lessening the blow. As that'll be Prater who bumps it up. Followed by Shima, then Singh. Staub. Beautiful set by Tembrock. As Reed once again showing that lethal up close and personal skill set that she has near that net.
Monarch is going to have to step up their game with Reed, just hitting it, hitting it, hitting it.
And her shots are falling. That's the thing. That's something that they have to keep in mind is her shots are falling, whereas Monarch, they're struggling. Beautiful block by Strojing at the net. Can Monarch keep it alive? Betch hits it over, but that'll be a point for Frederick. Frederick, they have rekindled this fire early on, is now 8-10. This game, much more manageable. So impressive rallies that we've seen from Frederick, especially considered they were struggling early on to kind of fend off against Monarch. And so it's one of those where we're starting to see this impressive, there's that word again, recuperation from them.
Yes, they really seem to be keeping up that positivity. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, they have been finding their spots beautifully, and not to mention Ava Reed. She's a threat in the back, and she's a threat in the front up close to that net. I mean, it's really something that Monarch has to lock down and lock in for her.
Yes.
As Raymer back to serve. Raymer taking her sweet time, waiting for that whistle. As we see Monarch trying to make something happen. Singh dives. The effort was there, just wasn't able to finish it off. As
I mean, how can they compete to Ava?
100%. I mean, this entire team right now, Frederick is looking very dialed in. As we're going to see a trade-off now as Anya Prater is going to leave, and we're going to see Amelia Van Nelson now popping in to serve. So a switch kind of early on. Kind of expected it though, just cycle through your players, see what works best. as Nelson's serve is up, Staub. Reed, can she find the placement? No, she can't. That time, a little too out of range.
She's going to have to look for that donut, if you know what I'm talking about, a little bit of a volleyball term. I mean, the middle of the court, for those of you who don't know.
I mean, it's okay, I didn't even know, so. The donut, ladies and gentlemen, the donut. Strojink, Tembrock sets it. Strojink, it's over. Back to Riley, and that was out. So Monarch still leading by 3 points. So 9-12 for the set. It's to 15, correct?
25.
25.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please don't make me call volleyball again. I can't believe I said that. That's embarrassing.
It's okay. It's okay. Eventually, you might have to go to 15, but
maybe.
For now, it's 25.
For now, it's 25. As Moore with the big booming hit over. Bit of communication. Tembrock sets it. Moore finds the placement. As we're starting to see a little bit of a struggle now from Monarch. They're not really able to combat right now. As Reed, is she as lethal with her serve? Yes, she is. As looks like that was Shima. Strojink tried to block it at the net. It was to no avail though. So a little bit of frustration, probably for Frederick.
I think we're seeing. Wait, never.
It's my favorite player.
Wait, yes, I was right. We're seeing Ava Malawoka come back in, so they're gonna have to, you know, lock in.
Malawoka's back. And honestly, a smart trade-off too, as she has been impactful for them. Singh, back to serve. Frederick, able to respond. Shima, and that's once again Malawoka. Tembrock setting it. Reed getting it over. That'll be out of zone. Or the donut. I really want a donut now. I'm not gonna,
no, me too.
Like, even though I can't have them.
A nice glazed one. Ooh.
Don't tempt me. As Singh back once again. Singh back to serve. Reed with the bump. Tembrock trying to set it for Strojink. As Betch tries to set it for Shima. That was Strojink at the net to block more. Tembrock, Strojink once again. Leaps off that net. My goodness, Betch trying to find a corner. And that entire rowdy crowd for Frederick jumping up and getting wild. Over here, we saw them all clapping and screaming and whooping. So
honestly, I'm getting a little jealous. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of FOMO.
You're getting FOMO?
Yes. Looks very fun down there.
I mean, hey, these girls are playing their heart out so far. So honestly, don't blame them. Don't blame them for having fun. As Tembrock trying to get it back over. Looks like point will be theirs. Yeah, point will be ours. That's interesting. Brielle, any reasoning as to why?
Yes. So came over and Ava Malawako.
Yes.
Ava Malawako went to tip it and it went out. So basically, yeah.
100%. So there's the reasoning behind it.
Yes.
As you know, it could have gone either way. Honestly, there was hard to tell if it swayed. It looked like the refs though were very on point. So good call as Reed. Tembrock. Moore. Beautiful placement, Gianna Moore. She is prepped. As we saw her earlier, kind of stumbling over some of her hits and some of her, moments where it felt like maybe she wasn't mentally, all there kind of a thing. She was struggling a little bit to get her mindset in this game. So good to see her kind of making a comeback.
She definitely looks like she's in it to win it. So
As Reed sends it flying in the wrong direction, but Staub able to get it back again to Jami. As right now we are looking at a 14-15 set. This set extremely close in comparison. I mean, it's kind of funny to think how we went from what, 2 to 9?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get a point for
a hot minute.
Yeah, few plays.
Which is a little devastating for Frederick, but I'm glad they kept their head up as Malawako to Betched smacks it over, delivers a heater straight to Reed's hands. Reed didn't know how to respond. This will be another point in their favor. As this is Kate Shima now back to serve. Tembrock setting it. Moore, can she get it over? Not that time. So not paying off quite like how they wanted it to. Not something that you should take too closely to heart though, as this, you know, we watched them fall behind a little bit and then come right back in retaliation as there it is, the announcer drinks, but in favor of us, so we'll take it.
That's just one of the many things Frederick is so good at doing is watching the line. I mean, seriously, I almost never see them drop a ball right on the line.
As we see the serve from Moore, and then the pass from Shima. As Tembrock setting it, Reed! Singh able to get possession just barely, as he will send it flying over with Prater. As Moore back to serve once again. As Prater with the pass. Moore finds Tembrock. Tembrock straight to Raymer. Singh trying to keep it alive. Beautiful block from Jami at the net.
I mean, she was ready. I could see the flames in her eyes. They all look like they are really in it to win it.
As my goodness, Jami, that was beautiful, honestly, as Moore back to serve once again. Prater, Moore sends it flying the wrong direction. As 17-18 right now, so they've kind of retaliated with a few answers of their own, but you know, don't want to see them fall behind here late in this set. Looks like that is the one, the only Ava Malawako. Back to serve. Staub fights Tembrock. Tembrock setting it for Raymer. Raymer hits it over. Martinez. Tembrock finds Reed. Reed! That was lethal, and that was honestly self-inflicted wounds too if you're Monarch. We saw two of the girls, looks like that was Martinez and Betch, go up trying to block it, but it ended up kind of fumbling through their fingertips and ended up just falling right in the middle of that court. So, dangerous decision then. As now we are all knotted up at 18 apiece. Staub, Betched, Moore to Tembrock, Strojink, back to Singh, back to Martinez. Martinez, Moore trying to keep this play alive. Tembrock, Staub able to pass it over, back to Betched, back to Riley. Tembrock, Reed, beautiful! Ava Reed, finally the first lead that they've had in this game so far, as this first set has now swung in the favor of Frederick. Staub back to serve. And obviously paying off in Frederick's favor. Looks like interesting call. I couldn't quite tell what they were huffing about.
Yeah, a little hard for me to see. but it's okay.
I know our vantage point is a little questionable sometimes, as Frederick finally taking a lead of 2 points. So, you know, I'm really loving how our libero, Tatiana Staub has just been on point, and even watching her serve there, the past few serves, I feel like just having that momentum with her, she's really kind of been another impact player to kind of keep an eye out for.
Oh, yeah.
And some of these rallies, too, from Frederick that we've been seeing here late in this set, very impressive, if you ask me. I mean, it's really proving why Frederick wants to take this set by storm.
They're really bringing their A game.
They really are, 100%, or their FHS game.
Yes, yes.
As they are just 5 away from making this set theirs and claiming it. As Betched finds Martinez. Little bit of a miscommunication. Looks like a slip up from Staub, but able to keep it alive. Singh finds Betched. Betched finds Riley. Tenbrock setting it for Raymer. Raymer tries to hit it over. Singh once again getting possession. Betched back to Prater. Somehow Moore tried to keep it alive. Impressive feat from her. As we saw her go down, trying to get that dig, but just couldn't make anything happen.
A little more.
Ball went soaring out. As continue your train of thought.
A little more miscommunication from them. They're really going to have to work on that.
Yeah, without a doubt, as we see Petra Rollinger back to serve. Moore with the pass. Tenbrock finds Reed, and Reed gets denied for the first time tonight by Mia Riley. That was nasty to watch.
I think she got a little bit of like the ball hit her face after.
It looked
Hopefully
that
she's
way.
okay.
Yeah, it looked that way. Honestly, you know, if you're Reed, maybe a little bit more embarrassment more than anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to find a way to retaliate and come back from something like that. That's impactful, as now knotted up at 20. Reed to Tenbrock. Tenbrock keeping it alive, and that'll be point for Frederick. So
it seems
these line judges have been very interesting.
Yeah, it seems Eva Betched again. She grazed the net. Yes.
She is getting very up close and personal with that net, which can play to your advantage, as we've seen with Frederick specifically. I mean, we saw Jami with that beautiful block right against that net, but it can play against you. Honestly, it can be your enemy just as much as your friend. As Petra Rollinger gonna send it. As Reed trying to maybe make something happen. Sends it to Staub across the net. Tenbrock setting it. Raymer. Back to Singh. That'll be back to Shima. And Moore with a beautiful dig. My goodness. Don't know how she kept it alive. As now Frederick 22-20. They really want this set, and you can tell. Smells like food.
It does.
What is that? That smells amazing.
There is a bake sale for
that's probably what I'm smelling.
Yes.
It smells amazing. I'm not going to lie.
I made Rice Krispie treats.
You made Rice Krispies.
Yes,
Are they
I
gluten-free?
No.
Well, man. All right, well.
I don't know. Wait, are Rice Krispies gluten-free?
They might. I'll look it up. I'll look it up later, as that'll be sent right past Staub. Staub, watch it. Whip past her face. Didn't fall for her once. 23-20. 2 points away from taking this set by storm, as we've seen them with their own moments of retaliation, as we see Raymer back to serve. Raymer gets it over, gets it to Singh. Singh, Rollinger trying to set it, as we see Singh trying to keep it alive. Wow. My goodness, back to Shima. Tenbrock sets it. Strojink, oh my goodness. What a rally.
Oh my.
From both sides of this ball. I mean, Monarch putting their all into that, but just to no avail, as now 24-20. They are a point away from securing this first set. So if you're Frederick, this is one of the first sets that you've possibly had the chance of winning in the past 3 or 4 games. So this is something to be taken not lightly. I mean, this is something serious if you're Frederick, as we're going to see Shima trying to get it to number 7, Mia Riley, but it is to no avail, as Frederick takes that first set by storm. And finally, we see that rekindling that we were talking about. As hopefully less audio issues this time, as we're going to send it down to the sideline now with Megan Curtis. Megan.
Thank you, Carly. I am down here on the sideline. I am realizing there's some immense tension going on the court. There has been some amazing communication skills because there has been a neck-and-neck score recently. I wonder what they can do next. Back to you, Carly.
Thank you so much, Megan. Finally, hopefully no audio issues that time. I know that was probably a little unfortunate for the first hit.
Yeah. Ooh, go get those baked goods, guys.
I want to look this up. It's a Rice Krispie Treats gluten-free. I really want one now. Would you save one for me?
Of course.
Thank you. Please do. I'm starving. Let's see. Rice Krispie Treats gluten-free. I apologize for this tangent. Oh, you have to use a certified gluten-free Rice Krispie cereal.
Oh.
Did you use?
I don't think I did. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. You know what?
Maybe next time.
I'll make my own. You know what I mean?
You know what? We can make them together.
Yes, let's do that. Let's do that. Bake sale at Carly's house.
Everyone's invited.
Except,
you heard it here, guys.
Except, the obvious, which is Monarch.
Yes,
Sorry,
of
Monarch.
course.
You're not invited to the bake sale. This is a Frederick-only bake sale. Maybe we'll let you in,
You got to be nice.
for a pretty penny at the door. As we will be right back here on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network.
Rocky students exist to build up the next generation, to live a life of purpose, influence, and faith. You see, we believe that when you discover purpose, you start to discover you have a reason to live. And when you discover you have a reason to live, you start to notice you have influence. And when you lean into that influence, you make an impact. This world needs people like you, the next generation, to discover your purpose and to decide today the leader you want to be tomorrow.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. My name is Carly Evans. Alongside with me is the one, the only Brielle Halloran.
I mean, just as I said in the beginning, this is going to be a hard game, and I'm seeing that.
Definitely hard fought so far. Impressive, though, from Frederick, as we've seen them kind of put their own firepower behind their words. So I'm loving this. I'm loving this as a Frederick fan.
Looks like we have serve.
Looks like starting off this second set, we are going to see Gianna Moore back there to serve. Gianna, we'll see Betched trying to get it over to Shima. And first things first, Martinez not able to finish it off. Went for the low swipe of that dig, but didn't come up with anything. Very empty-handed now. As once again, Betched. We see Malo go the threat. She is Moore with the dive.
I mean, she's coming back into this set ready.
Yes, she is. I mean, already showing some of that ferocity. Definitely insane so far. As Betched back to serve. Betched. We see the pass from Reed to Tembrock. Gets it to Staub. Staub clearly not happy with that. Saw her do a little grimace of her own, so obviously not what she expected to happen. As Betched with the serve, more very low ball. Saw her struggle to kind of maintain possession.
Looked a little unready.
Agreed, 100%. Very unprepared in that moment. But every player has their moments. As Betched back to serve once again. More this time. Kind of a retaliation moment as Raymer gets it over. We'll see Betched setting it for Maliauko. Maliauko wasn't able to get it over. Tenbrock. Reed. That was nasty. Sent it straight to Eva Betched hands. Betched not able to come up with anything. I mean, so far, very evenly matched, honestly. We're seeing maybe a little bit of a how do I put it? I don't know. Monarch is looking better. How about that? That's kind of the simplest way to put it if you're going to say anything. As we're going to see Maliauko place it beautifully. My goodness. As now trailing by 2-4. As we're going to see Reed get it to Tenbrock, back over to Reed. Maliauko able to bump it up. Reed. We saw that block from Martinez. Not able to come up with anything. Prater. Back to Betched, back to Singh. Singh with the hit over the net to Staub. Staub back to Tenbrock. Tenbrock. Maliauko gets denied, but my goodness, that'll be point Monarch. As we will be having a special, iconic, beautiful woman come on microphone during the third set. So please prepare yourselves. As Martinez, my goodness, made nasty work of that. Able to come up real close on that net. Now trailing by 4. So it looks like that'll be Kate Shima back to serve. Shima, once again, Moore really struggling with some of those lower balls. Honestly, I think she's just playing more so a mental game with herself more than anything. And as soon as you put that thought in your head, the more you're going to struggle with it. As we see Shima with the serve. Tenbrock setting it for Raymer. Raymer! A little bit of frustration from Frederick that we're seeing. Clearly not happy with what's going on, but this is looking almost identical to the first set. As Shima gets it to Reed, who gets it to Tenbrock. Raymer back to Staub. Staub hits it over the net. Betched setting it for Martinez. More. They might pull more.
Oh. Hopefully we can see a little bit of that comeback like we did in the first.
As we're going to see Kyla Verostek now stepping in place for Moore. As kind of saw that coming, honestly. It's one of those where, you know, it's not necessarily keeping tally of how many mistakes you've made.
Yeah.
It's just as soon as you start to look wobbly and like maybe you should be pulled, it happens to everybody, right?
Yeah.
And so
sometimes you just got to take a breath.
Yes.
It's not bad to go on the bench.
No, it's a breath of fresh air, honestly. And if you're Moore, it's just a moment to recollect yourself. She looks very unfocused out there, and that's something that happens with everybody. It's not something that she should take too much to heart, but it's something that the next time that she's put in, the next time that KK puts her in, as you see KK talking to her actually on that sideline, something just keep in mind is recollect yourself. Deep breath. It won't hurt anybody. As we see Prater get it back over. Tenbrock sets it beautifully for Strojik. Strojik Betched, just low balled. My goodness, Betched with that beautiful dig, but not able to make anything out of it. As I am sweating bullets up here, ladies and gentlemen, it is hot in this very open booth. I was going to say closed booth, but it's not, so. As Raymer with the serve. Finds Shima. Shima to Betched. Betched to Martinez. Vrostic, back to Reed, back to Betched. As we see Staub. Tembrock setting it for Reed. And that was to no avail, as that'll be point Monarch.
This is when you, as I would call it, like a reset button. You kind of have to like, you know, hit it, you know? Hit it and come back, stay positive.
As something that Frederick has to keep in mind, they have Ava Malawalko back there to serve. As her serve kind of tricky, Vrostic able to make something happen. Strojing able to keep it alive. Betched back to Prater. Prater finds Staub on the other side, and Strojing, such placement in that corner, found that spot. Beautiful ball placement from Addison Strojing. So Moore back in. Moore just needed a moment to kind of recollect herself.
Hit that reset button.
Yes, that's a beautiful way to put it, honestly. It's not something, like I said, that should be taken too much to heart, because it happens to everybody. As
there we
with
go.
that mental reset, already we see Anya Prater struggle, completely lose sight of that ball. And that'll go sailing out in favor of Frederick. So now 6-10.
Let's see if Ava can do it again.
As Reed. Betched. Back to Prater. Reed able to keep it alive. Tried her best. As looks like that was Faulkner who tried to get it to Reed. Just not on the same page. As we are going to see, looks like that was Petra Rollinger back there to serve. Strojing trying to make an impact at that net. Tembrock, can they keep it alive? More nasty pass over that net. As Prater way out. So now 7-11, and now I want a Slurpee. We have to wait a whole nother year for free Slurpee Day.
Oh, wow. I missed it this year. So much talk of food.
Did you miss it?
Yes, I did.
See, I got a large,
Oh.
even though I wasn't supposed to. As we see Strojing back there to serve, finds Prater on that other side. Rollinger, Moore finds Strojing once again. Reed able to bop it over. As we see Rollinger trying to set it. It was to no avail, though. So if you're Monarch, we're seeing this trend, honestly, where later in the set they struggle. And I don't know why this is the pattern. I don't know why they struggle with it. So it looks like very, very constantly.
Yeah,
very often.
They seem to be getting in their heads
Yes.
a lot. I mean,
Yes.
good for us, honestly, but
We will take it, that's for sure. As we see Amelia Van Nelson back there to serve. That'll be Shimo, bumps it up. And back over Kate Shima. So right as we said that silly little pesky announcer jinx. As Van Nelson, that'll just run rampant right into that net.
I mean, if you can hear rowdy crowd, there's a net there.
Tembrock back to serve. Tembrock finds Van Nelson back over to Shima. Shima's been a very prominent name, honestly. She's definitely had her impacts. As we're going to see a timeout taken. You know, and honestly, if you're Frederick, we're seeing this repetition from Monarch, but that's something that you have to keep in mind is maybe this repetition won't continue.
Yeah.
So maybe you have to be the one to step up and kind of take over it.
Yeah, completely.
Because right now I feel like we're seeing almost this, I don't know, I feel like they're waiting for them to mess up. As we're going to take a chance to shout out one of our sponsors, FHS Booster Club. Frederick High School Booster Club carries on the long tradition of supporting the students of this community. The purpose of Booster Club is to provide the funding and manpower for the homecoming tailgate celebration, the after-prom party, grants to student groups and clubs, as well as scholarships to graduating seniors. We're always looking for parent volunteers, so if you're interested in becoming involved, we would invite you to reach out through our website, fhsbooster.com, and click on Contact Us or attend our next meeting in the FHS library. If you're wanting to be more involved in the community and have a desire to do something that benefits the students of our community, we'd love to hear from you. Again, please visit our website, fhsbooster.com, and click on Contact Us if you'd like to get involved. We welcome any supporters, not just parents. The FHS Booster Club is a proud partner of GEBN, as once again, Chami at that net. She has been a brutal force to be reckoned with.
I mean, wow, what a kill.
Truly, I mean, honestly, as my goodness, Moore almost found herself in a brutal splits, as that was once again Ava Meloauco. She's been pretty scary to watch. I'm not gonna lie, she's good.
I'd be scared.
And Frederick knows it too. That's the thing. That's probably where the biggest mental game comes from. Is you know she's good, and you know she's gonna put on a show. As Betched back to serve, low pass to Moore.
Woo, nice tip. That was yeah. They didn't even see that one coming.
Yeah, no, Betched very much left unprepared. Started trying to go low, bump it back up. It was to no avail. As you know, Frederick, they do have to keep in mind they are trailing by 5. Staub.
Nice. That was a solid serve right over the net. Ugh. Nice.
Yeah, Staub honestly couldn't ask for anything better in my opinion. I mean, really putting on a show back there with serving. As we see Staub once again setting up to serve. Gets it to Singh to Betched. Betched back to Shima. Staub to Tembrock. Tembrock set it for Strojink. Betched sets it for Malawalko. Can Staub keep it alive, and she can't. Staub put her all into that. My goodness, is now trailing once again by 5, 11-16. Something that they have to be cognizant about. As looks like that will be Kate Shima back there to serve. Moore, just a little hit over. Finds Betched, and Betched way out of left field, if you ask me. Singh clearly not happy with something. I'm not sure. Did you see anything that maybe?
I mean, it's Ava. Oh my! I just keep butchering this. Ava Malawako hit that pretty far out. I think she might just be a little bit upset. You know, after you gotta come in and trust your teammates, even after things like that.
Yes. And it's one of those where we're in that kind of stretch where if you let yourself kind of fall victim to your emotions, then who knows what'll happen. I mean, it could easily tip out of your favor very quickly.
But here she comes to serve. Let's see if she can recuperate.
I'm honestly kind of expecting it, as scary as that is.
Yeah.
Malawalko.
Oh, there it is.
Moore finds Faulkner. Back to Moore. Back to Malawalko. Betched setting it for Martinez.
Oh.
Moore! Tembrock not able to keep it alive. That was kind of tricky though, ball placement wise. As Moore once again going to be stepping out of this game, back on that bench. Nothing to be like, obviously, like we said, don't take it too seriously. Just kind of cycling, right? And that's important to get some fresh legs.
Yes.
As we see once again, Kyla Vorostic in her place.
Oh, Ava Malawako going to the bench after shanking the ball. Let's see how this plays out.
Honestly, if you're coach right now, I honestly haven't seen a lot of the players that I'm seeing on that bench who have played that often.
Yeah.
Like, it's been very much consistently the same cycle of players, which, not to say it's bad, clearly it's working, but there is a moment where it's like, hey, we need some fresh legs, we need a fresh perspective. Is Faulkner able to keep it alive? Tembrock gets juked by the ball. She did not see that coming.
No, not at all.
As looks like that'll be Petra Rollinger back there to serve. Faulkner. Tembrock setting it. And Betch able to keep it alive. My goodness. Putting her all into it. Faulkner sends it flying into Dea. Poor Dea. So this is a little dangerous. Now trailing by 6. That's pretty testy if you ask me. And Staub not falling for it. We saw her kind of hesitate. She was like, should I not? That's always the real question that's running through her head. And my goodness, beautiful read from Staub, not falling for it. Not even a second glance back there. As we see Strojink back to serve. Strojink, that looked a little off from the get-go. Just she didn't really put much power behind it.
Yeah, it was definitely the toss, but
yes.
you know, that always happens. Happens to me too.
Brielle has also fallen victim to
Yes.
that whole funny thing called the toss did not cooperate.
Quite a few times, if I might say.
But I mean, honestly, what volleyball player hasn't? So
Yeah, real.
as we see Van Nelson, Tommy, looks like she tried to keep it alive. I don't know. That was hard to read.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he grazed the net or.
That's kind of what it looked like. Is maybe.
I mean,
just
I
brushed
saw
over that net.
Yeah, I saw the block, but then I was like, yeah, a little hard to read.
As looks like that'll be Van Nelson trying to keep it alive. Finds it back. Mia Riley, my goodness, kind of a proclamation, final statement moment. As we see now trailing by 6. So
Ava Malawako back into play.
Singh, their libero, gonna serve. Tembrock setting it for Raymer. Raymer gets denied, but Tembrock able to keep it alive. Finds Staub in the back. Reed trying to find any room she can. Singh finds Shima. And my goodness, right now this is not looking too hot this set.
You know,
for Frederick.
Good thing we have 5 sets.
Yes, we'll take it.
I love the spirit.
Yeah, I can never get the dance right. It drives me crazy, and then I look dumb. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I clapped too many times. It's because I'm so used to not being in the rowdy crowd. As I'd like to take this chance to shout out one of our sponsors, Rocky Church. Would you like to meet with an Olympian, connect with a D1 athlete, or talk with a Twitch streamer? Rocky Students is a part of Rocky Church, and they are all about connecting students to their purpose. They believe students are the future, and their goal is to help you be empowered, encouraged, and supported. There are many ways to connect with Rocky Students. You can start by watching their monthly podcast on YouTube, where you'll hear from guests on a multitude of topics. Show up on a Wednesday night to hang out with friends and meet some incredible guest speakers, or even join their gaming community on Discord. Follow them on Instagram at RockyStudents_Frederick to learn more. Singh, once again, their libero back to serve. Singh, kind of a beautiful serve. Finds Staub. Tembrock sets it up for more.
And it's out.
So, heard some size of just, gotta get back in this, right?
Mm-hmm. Completely.
Good thing they won that first set, though, right?
Ooh, what a serve.
As Tembrock kind of sends him in a scuffle in that donut.
Man, so much talk of food, I'm getting hungry.
I am too. As this set, not over yet. It is narrowly close to being over, 17-24.
Ooh.
Moore, can she keep it alive for Frederick? Everyone throw up the little twinkle fingers. And she can. So now 18-24. Seeing low ball for that dig. And can they keep it alive? Yes, they can.
I mean, she is truly such a strong server.
She is. I mean, it's one of those where, considering, you know, all the things that, not that she's had to like overcome this game, but I think just mental game more than anything. These serves have been beautiful. Moore, can she do it a third time? Yes, she can. Can they make something happen? Malawalko, Staub, Moore gets it back over. Singh, what a beautiful rally from Frederick there. Moore. And Tembrock, miscommunication. You saw her trying to shift some of her players. Looked like she was trying to move Staub up closer to that front. Just a little too much of a kerfuffle.
Love that word.
As we're gonna see me stepping down here in a moment, as we will be right back here on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. That was a ton.
You've likely heard in the news that interest rates are way too high, homes are just not selling, and the real estate market is about to crash at any moment. Hi, I'm Kendra Badgekar, your local real estate expert, and I've been serving Carvin Valley and Northern Colorado for over 7 years, and I've got some good news. The truth is, there are several creative finance options to get your interest rate down to a much lower rate if you're thinking about buying a home. And yes, homes are taking a little bit longer to sell, but with the right marketing strategy, they are still selling for a great value, so your equity is safe. If you're thinking about making a move this year, let's grab a cup of coffee and talk about the best way to get you there.
Hey, I'm Jake Marsing, social studies teacher and advisor of the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network, and you're watching GEBN. Go Golden Eagles!
Welcome back into the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. Thank you, Carly Evans, for the warm welcome. My name is Frieda Wichman, and you all already know Brielle. Brielle, how are we doing?
I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like we're gonna be able to come back. You know, from
Yeah, that second set was a close one. Frederick just kept pushing, and even though Monarch was at 24 points, Frederick just did not give up, and that's what you want to see in a good varsity volleyball team, is just the drive to keep going for points, even though the opposing team is just one away from winning a set.
Yes, we already know that they can do it. I mean, winning that first set, I feel like that's going to give them a little bit of what's the word?
Momentum?
Yes, momentum to keep fighting.
Yeah, and this game is not over. Frederick has won one set. Monarch has won one set. This game is just getting started, in my opinion. The playing field is level now. I would honestly consider it 0-0. Now everybody has to push hard to win another set. What have you noticed that's been working really well for Frederick down there?
Talking. Like, I mean, talking is such a huge thing. You always have to talk, honestly, but yeah.
Volleyball, it is definitely important to always talk to your teammates, who's where, where are the hitters on Monarch hitting? Are they hitting cross, down line? And so, yeah, I think if Frederick just keeps up the talking, they can definitely pull a win out of the set. I mean, we saw him do it the first match. Monarch will start out with the set, and this will be Eva Becht. It is up and in, Tot with the hands on it. Jami with the kill. Jami Martinez came out of nowhere. That was beautiful play by Tot, Marisol, and Jami. Frederick with the ball now. Gianna Moore. Becht. Back to Shima. And it is blocked. However, that ball goes out of bounds. Monarch will get the ball. Kate Shima, it is up and in, right to Tot. Marisol to Reed. Monarch gets it up. Back.
Right out of Tot's hands.
Ava Malikwo, she's a hard hitter. She's a good middle, and she's definitely a player for Frederick to kind of keep an eye on across the net and watch out for tonight.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Shima again. Moore to Tembrock. To Raymer, who tips it over. Monarch sends it back. Reed tips it to the libero. Prater. Frederick gets the point. Double on Monarch. Staub serves it a little low and into the net, but that's okay. The game is only 2-3, and you know, just little mistakes like that aren't as big as of a deal at the start of a set. Here is Linkwa serve. Reed tries to get it up, however, it just kind of goes on a slope downwards instead of upwards, and Monarch will regain the ball.
I've talked about positivity a few times, but I mean, seriously, they do have to stay positive, especially with little mistakes like these.
Yeah, you just have to let those, like, oh, I made a mistake, time to move on. Moore with the up, Tembrock, back set. Riley able to push that ball back over. She saw Tembrock reaching up to set her dump, and she was like, nope, send it back down. The Monarch Coyotes now lead this set 5-2. Here is Malikwa again. Moore to Tembrock, to Raymer. That was a little trick play there by Shima and Becht. Shima just got it up to Becht, and she was like, here you go again. And Malikwa, Reed sends it back over. Addie Strozing tips it right back down into the court. Frederick ball. Izzy Raymer will serve for Frederick. Monarch, a little out of system play here, gets it back over. Raymer to Tembrock. Back set to Reed. Monarch keeps the ball alive. Moore to Tembrock. To Strozing. Ooh. That was a good hit.
Yes.
Sign tried to get a hand up on that ball, however, it just kind of hit her palm and just went the wrong way, and Frederick will get the point. Izzy Raymer again. Prater gets it up. Addie Strozink again.
Wow, she is really coming into this game ready.
Yeah, now this game, the set is 6-5. That's pretty darn good in my opinion. Izzy Raymer right back to Prater, who this time shanks the ball out of bounds. It is up. Shima tries to get that ball up, and Izzy gets another point for Frederick. Frederick now leads this set 7-6. Ball is up. Right back to Shima. Back, sets to Prater. Frederick tried to get it up, however, it kind of just went on its way out of bounds. Tatiana Staub, Gianna Moore tried to chase it down, however, Monarch and number 9, Petra Rollinger, will get the ball and serve for Monarch. Tatiana Staub with the up. Marisol to Addie, who hits a deep line. And again, Addie Strozink will get the point for the Frederick Golden Eagles.
Shima looks like she's struggling down there. Shima.
Ava Reed will now serve for Frederick. Frederick with the serve. And an over-the-tape serve by Ava Reed. Those are always so hard to get up as a defense, and that's just what we want to see as the Frederick Golden Eagles, is just those hard serves that Monarch just can't pick up.
Yes.
Ava again. Prater. And it looks like Mia Riley will get called for a double. Monarch right here needs to just regain some composure. Frederick now leads 10-7. And if Monarch just, I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
They have to pick it back up for sure. Frederick, let's just keep going on with the momentum and just let Ava keep serving. Monarch with the back row swing. Kate Shima, however, I'm pretty sure she hit that into the net. And Ava Reed will just keep on serving.
Seems like they subbed in Emma Zarski. Let's see how that plays out.
Monarch trying to keep up with Ava's serves will now have 4 in the back row. Is up. Sign tries to get the ball up, however, just kind of sends the ball right into the net. Monarch not able to get a play off of it.
We seem to be seeing quite a few balls going to the net tonight.
Reed. Again with another tough serve. Emma Zarski kind of shanks that ball out of bounds. And Monarch will be forced to call a timeout just to try and regroup and see what isn't working, what is working. And Frederick, they just need to keep, like I said, going off of that momentum.
Oh, yeah. I think they might be trying to get Ava to not serve as well, but I mean, she is like on fire.
That should just motivate Ava all the more to just keep serving tough, because a lot of the times, yes, teams will call timeouts to try and ice out the server and stop them from getting any more points. But I think those are the times where you should serve the best, is you're like, hey, they know I'm a good server, so now I'm going to serve harder than I already am.
Yeah.
Monarch will see if they change anything up and get the ball into play. Frederick just keep on serving Ava. Up and in. This time Zarski able to get a good up. Ellery Faulkner gets it up. And a little joust between Strozink and Riley, and Monarch will win that.
This is when you truly have to trust that your teammates can do it.
Monarch finally getting the ball. Here is Van Nelson's serve. Gianna Moore tried to hit line, however, just a little bit below, and it goes right into the net, and Van Nelson will keep serving. Reed with the up. Marisol to Strozink, who sends it deep line. However, it is just too far out of bounds. And the Monarch Coyotes, Van Nelson will keep them in it. This set is now only 13-10. Frederick only in the lead by 2. Or, excuse me, 3. Faulkner gets it up. Strozink. Tenbrock sends it over. Staub to Tenbrock. To Moore. Monarch gets a touch, so they have to keep it alive. Shima able to tool off of Frederick's block and win that mini rally there for Monarch. Van Nelson again. Staub to Tenbrock, who will set or dump it. Monarch able to keep it alive. Sign will send it out to Backed. Tenbrock, back set, Ava Reed. Staub keeps it alive. Tenbrock to Moore, gets blocked. Staub keeps the ball alive. Moore tips it over this time. Refs are calling it in. Frederick will win the point. Addie Strozink, who has been having so far a spectacular set, will go back and serve for Frederick. It looks like the refs were discussing. The Monarch coach might be questioning if something was in or out. Looks like it's been resolved. Addie Strozink will keep the ball and the serve. Sign. Shima again will hit the ball in and get Monarch the point. Monarch is only down by 2 points now. Maya Sign will go back and serve. Up and that was a good serve by Sign. Kind of threw off the Frederick defense just a little bit, and
seemed we have had a little bit of miscommunication.
And that just happens sometimes, especially with good servers. And usually liberos are good servers, and you have to watch out for those. Reed gets it up. Ellery to Staub, sends it over. Sign to Riley or Rollinger. And it looks like Monarch will be able to tool off of Frederick's block, and Frederick calls a timeout. The set is now 14-14. Definitely a close one, and this is the thing that's great about volleyball, is that sets can go from having a really big difference in scores to having a close tied match. I mean, this should be interesting because right now Monarch needs to push. They've got to get into Frederick's heads, keep doing what they're doing. Frederick kind of has to regroup just a little bit and just say, hey, we were just in the lead. We can be in the lead again. Monarch isn't doing anything that we don't already know. It's the third set. This isn't new, and Frederick's just got to regain that momentum they just had.
Yeah.
Sign. Ava Reed able to read that ball and see that it was on its way out of bounds and will get the ball for Frederick. Marisol Tenbrock. Up and in. Shima with a pass. Ava Malikwo sends it deep corner. No one there to get her swing up, and she will get that ball right back to Monarch.
With the score now 15-15, we're keeping it pretty close.
Eva Becht. Gianna Moore keeps it alive. Marisol to Jami, who tips it. Sign tries to keep it alive. However, it goes right back into the net. Monarch not able to get it back up. And Gianna Moore will go back and serve. Up and in. Shima gets hands on it. Will hit deep. Gianna Moore there and waiting. Izzy Raymer sends it deep. Van Nelson gets it up. Eva Becht with the setter dump. Frederick tries to get there and get it up. However, Eva Becht will get that point for her team. And this will send Kate Shima back to the line to serve. The set is 16-16, still a close match. Reed with the up, Tenbrock. Back to Reed, who sends it just right in front, just right behind the 10-foot line. Sign tried to get it up, however, she just kind of hit it with her fist and sent it more out of bounds than up. And this will send Tatiana Staub back to the line, who serves it. Zarski sends it. Gianna Moore to Tenbrock, to Raymer, who will tip it. Martinez there and waiting. Ava tools off of Strozing's block. Reed to Malikwo. Tenbrock keeps it alive. Staub back to Raymer, who hits cross this time. Back to Sign. To Shima, who will send that ball out of bounds. Tatiana Staub will keep the ball and serve again for Frederick, who is now in the lead by 2 points. Up and in. Zarski kind of sends it back. Zarski will send it to Moore. Marisol tried to get the ball up off the net. However, just as she tried to get it up, she touched the net, and Monarch will get the ball just off of a small technical error. Ava Malikwo. Reed to Tenbrock, back to Raymer. Zarski will tip it over. Addie Strozing tries to get that ball up. However, Monarch able to keep serving and keep the ball. The set is once again tied at 18-18. And this set's going to be a long one, I can tell. Malikwa. Kyla Verostig, Marisol Tenbrock to Raymer, who tips it, and this time will regain the ball for Frederick. That was a smart volleyball IQ play by Raymer right there. She saw everybody was covering deep, thinking she was going to swing hard, and said, haha, nope, I'm going to tip. Izzy Raymer. Rader to back to Zarski, and it looks like she sent that ball out of bounds. Raymer again. Zarski gets it up. Forced to back set. Tenbrock to Reed, who is blocked by Mia Riley.
They have some strong blocks.
I think both teams, Frederick and Monarch, are just very prominent up at the net.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's just a matter of who can tool off the block more and who can stuff block the other team more. Petra Rollinger tries to short serve, however, that ball just falls right into the net, and Ava Reed will go back to the line to serve. The set is now 21-19, Frederick in the lead. Ava hoping to keep Frederick in the lead, and will serve to Zarski. Beck sends it over, Staub keeps it alive. Moore will send it back to Monarch. Riley this time sends it over. Zarski. Faulkner keeps it alive. Tenbrock to Gianna Moore, who will tip. And once again get the point. Frederick right now realizing that Monarch is kind of pushing themselves back as a defense, thinking that Frederick is just going to swing hard. And that's when Frederick is, they're just going to tip all day, which is a very smart play to do, especially in a close game like this, is to realize where are the defenders thinking I'm going to go, and then you do the exact opposite.
Yes. Yeah. The game now 22-19.
This game, even though Frederick's in the lead, anything can change. And right here, Monarch in their huddle is probably saying things like, we need to pick up the energy, we need to pick up our defense, get the ball over, swing hard. And Frederick, they just need to keep growing off of the momentum that this lead has given them and just not make small errors, which they haven't really been making any small errors this game. It's just now it's where no small errors can become apparent.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Ava Reed. Zarski with the good up. Rollinger to Riley.
Right through her fingers.
Riley sends a deep corner, and that ball will be in. The set is now 22-20. Monarch coming out of the timeout with the point. Amelia Van Nelson. Faulkner gets it up. Strozink sends it out to Moore. We'll send it cross. Van Nelson keeps it up. Rollinger to Shima. Frederick able to get a touch on the block. Moore will tip it. Van Nelson to Rollinger to Becht, who tries to tip down line, however, goes a little too far to the right, and that ball will go out of bounds. Frederick now leads by 3 points, 23-20. Strozink hoping to get them the 2 points they need to win the set. Van Nelson to Rollinger to Shima, who will tip it. Once again, tried to tip line just like Beck did. However, it once again goes a little too far to the left this time and will go out of bounds. Strozink just needs one more point to win the set for Frederick. Van Nelson a little tight. Riley hits it right to Faulkner. However, Ellery Faulkner kind of accidentally sends the ball out of bounds, and Maya Sign will go back to the line for Monarch to serve. This game is now 24-21. Frederick only needs to push one more point. Maya sends it just a little short in front of Ava Reed. Ava tries to get it up, however, Monarch will keep the ball. Only down by 2 points now. Tenbrock to stop with the back row hit. Ava Malikwo able to tool off of Frederick's block once again. Frederick calls a timeout. Set is 24-23. And just like we said, this is once again a very close game. Frederick only has to push one more point. Monarch trying to tie the set 24-24, which will then force this third set to go to whoever gets to 26 points, because in volleyball you always have to win by at least 2 points. And here, this is where Frederick really needs to take a deep breath, calm it down, and play their game, which we know they can because we've seen them get in the lead, we've seen them win sets, and this right here is where they push. Monarch is going to try and definitely get into Frederick's head and just keep swinging as hard as they can, because they have a selection of strong hitters who are able to effectively tool off of Frederick's block or just swing straight deep corner and get the point. So it'll be interesting to see who really... Oh, okay. Tenbrock to Gianna Moore, who sends cross.
Oh, yes!
And as it's on its way out of the bounds, Maya Sign touches it, and Frederick will win the point immediately coming out of the timeout. Frederick now leads this game 2-1 matches to Monarch's 1. Frederick now in this fourth set really has to push a win, because Frederick is kind of on a losing streak right now, and this win would mean everything, especially with the season coming closer, the regular season coming closer and closer to an end. And now is where the team kind of just pushes and says, we're here, we're ready to play, let's go. And we will send it on down to Megan Curtis, our sideline.
Thank you, Frieda. I am down here on the sideline. In these last two sets, we can see that they have really been trying to just get behind each other and make sure that Monarch doesn't win, and it's really been neck and neck recently. You can see that Frederick's trying really hard in their communication, and all their skills that they need on court is going really well, and they just won this last set, so we'll see what they can do.
Thank you, Megan.
I mean, this is when the game really becomes a mental game, you know? This is when they really have to get out of their heads and lock in.
Yes, definitely, especially with games like this where it's fourth set, Frederick in the lead only by 1 set, and this is definitely a game where your mental mindset will come into it of who wants it more, who wants the win more. Monarch will definitely come out and try to start out strong, because they now have to win 2 sets. They have to win this set and force a 5th set. Frederick has a little bit of an easier slope to climb, where they just need to win this 4th set. They don't have to think about we need to win and then push a 5th set. We're just kind of flowing easy here.
Yeah.
And just need to win this next set.
And and it gets hard, going into the 4th set. No, you get tired. You have to truly dig deep and fight.
Most definitely. And Monarch taking a little bit longer in the huddle to talk it through. And I think, just like you said, mental strength is going to be the biggest thing here. And we're going to see who has the most mental strength of this game. Is it Monarch or is it going to be Frederick? And with that, the little break will end. Frederick will start off the fourth set with the serve. Gianna Moore, who is definitely one of Frederick's stronger servers. It is up and in. Shima to back to Malikwo. Tenbrock keeps it up. Raymer sends it deep. Back to Shima. Wow. Stop with the up. Tenbrock out to Reed, who just with a little bit too much strength there sends the ball flying on its way out of bounds. And Monarch and Eva Becht will get the ball and the serve. Eva Becht with the serve to Reed. Marisol back to Reed. Sign tries to get it up, however, it rolls off of her arms, heads the wrong way and out of bounds. This will send Tatiana Staub back to the line to serve. And Frederick hoping to grow off of this momentum. Shima backed out to Martinez. Addie Strozing tries to get up for a block. Tenbrock to Strozing. Strozing keeps it alive. Sign to Shima, who is blocked by Addie Strozing. Martinez once again blocked by Addie Strozing and Ava Reed.
Their blocks are so strong tonight.
Hold on, it looks like the ref called 4 touches on Frederick, and Monarch will get the ball. Interesting. Interesting. Back to the line, Kate Shima. Reed to Tenbrock, to Raymer, who will tip. Martinez keeps it up. Malikwa sends it over. Tenbrock back to Raymer, who this time swings. Sign keeps it up. Zarski sends it deep. Staub to Tenbrock, to Ava, who will tip. Malikwa keeps it up. Strozing hits deep to Sign. Malikwa, this time with the swing, hits deep corner with the kill. Monarch will win that rally.
They really have to watch those corners.
Especially in hard, tough rallies like that. Malikwa saw that the defense on Frederick was all pulled up, ready for a tip, and she said, I'm going to send it deep corner. And that's exactly what she did. Monarch leads the fourth set now 3-1. Kate Shima sends it to Reed. Reed with the good up. Marisol back sets to Raymer, who hits it over and through the block. Monarch's block just wasn't as strong to send it back down, and it'll just land right on Monarch's side of the court. And Izzy Raymer will get the ball to serve. Zarski to back to Malikwa, who who once again will hit it right at Raymer, who touches it on his way out, and Malikwa will go back to the line to serve after getting that point. Staub, Tenbrock to Reed, hits it right to Shima. Back to Zarski, who is Frederick able to get a touch on that block for Zarski. However, it kind of just rolls off their hands and goes out of bounds. Malikwa will serve right to Ellery Faulkner. Marisol Tenbrock gets there. Reed tools off of Monarch's block this time. And Ava Reed will go back to serve. The set is now only 5-3. Monarch in the lead by 2. Ava hoping to make that a 1-point lead and then a tie game and get Frederick back in it. Back to Martinez, who will roll shot it right to Reed. Tenbrock to Strozink. Beck keeps it up. Martinez will tip. Staub to Tenbrock, who will set her up. Sign keeps it up. Back to Zarski. Faulkner gets it up. Tenbrock out to Moore. Hits down line. Shima tries to get it up. A little miscommunication there between Shima and Sign. And Frederick will regain the ball, making this set only 5-4. Monarch only in the lead by a 1 point. Reed to Zarski. Back sets to Riley. And Riley will tool off of Frederick's block and get Monarch the ball. Petra Rollinger. Little bit of a short serve there to Strozink. Marisol out to Moore. Hits it deep to Shima. Rollinger to Zarski. Reed to Tenbrock. To Strozink, who tips it deep. 2, and Frederick will make this once again only a 1-point game. Addie Strozink serves it just a little too far out of bounds, and Monarch will get that ball right back. Amelie Van Nelson going back to serve. It is up, and Staub gets it up. Tenbrock to Martinez. Shima will send it over. Reed to Marisol. Out to Moore this time, who is blocked. Taut keeps it alive. Reed will send it deep. Sign gets it up. Rollinger out to Shima. Hits it right down and in the court. What a kill by Kate Shima. Van Nelson going back to the line once again to serve for Monarch. Monarch now leads by 3 points. The set is now 8-5. Van Nelson. Javi Martinez tries to get it up, however, it just kind of goes at an angle more towards the net, and Frederick will call a timeout.
Frederick looks like they might be getting in their heads a little bit.
And that's just an easy fix. They're only down by 4. It could definitely be worse. They could be down by 10 or 15, but no, they're just down by 4. And as we just saw in the third set, being down by 4 means nothing to Frederick because they know how to come back in tight games. So does Monarch. And this is where both teams need to really push and see who's going to fight the hardest, especially in rallies, because both teams so far have definitely been getting into like some little rallies.
Oh, yeah.
And it's those type of plays where it's who's going to make the mistake first and who's going to let the mistake get to them.
Yeah.
And right here, I think Frederick just needs to remember that one mistake isn't that big a deal, and they just need to take a deep breath and realize that it's okay to mess up just a little because volleyball's a game all about mistakes. Reed to Tenbrock, back to Reed. Van Nelson sent it a little tight to the net. Rollinger able to get it over. Mia Riley, stop, what a save. Marisol will free ball it over. Rollinger back to Riley, who will hit a 3. However, Frederick keeps it up. More deep to Sign. Van Nelson, back row swing here. Faulkner to Tenbrock to Jami Martinez. Sign to Rollinger. To Shima, who hits it right to Tatiana Staub. Marisol back row set to Ava Reed. Ava just a little bit too much power on that swing, and that ball will go out of bounds, and Van Nelson will keep on serving. Van Nelson. A little bit of a short serve there, and Frederick will get the ball. Marisol Tenbrock will go back and serve for Frederick. The set is now 10-6. Monarch in the lead by 4. Tenbrock to Van Nelson to Rollinger to Riley, who hits it out of bounds. Marisol Tenbrock will keep on serving for Frederick. Tenbrock this time to Shima. Rollinger out to Shima, who will hit it through the block. Staub keeps it in play. Tenbrock to Moore. Rollinger keeps it up this time. Van Nelson to Shima, who will cross hit. Staub keeps it up. Tenbrock to Raymer, who hits it deep court. Van Nelson tried to get there. However, Raymer will get the point of that little rally there, and that is just what Frederick needs to kind of get back into this game, and Marisol Tenbrock will keep on serving, and like we always say, Frederick just keep on serving, and this will be a good game. Sign. Rollinger back to back, who sends that ball out of bounds. If Monarch doesn't make a change here, Frederick might just take the lead, because this set is now 10-9. Frederick only down by 1 now. They were down by 4. Now they're only down by 1. Tenbrock to Shima. Rollinger back out to Shima, who will tip it deep. Ava Reed tried to get a hand up on that ball, and it just doesn't go up. It goes sideways, and Maya Sign will go back to serve for Monarch. Sign. Staub gets it up. Tenbrock out to Raymer. Raymer with just a little bit too much power there, sends it out of bounds, and Maya Sign will keep on serving for Monarch. Sign. Staub. Tenbrock, who will set or dump it over, and that confused Monarch, and Frederick with the easy point from Tenbrock. That was a beautiful setter dump right there. Monarch never saw that coming.
Gianna's been on a serving streak tonight.
More deep to Sign. Shima keeps it up. Woo! However, Monarch little too low of a free ball there, and Gianna Moore will keep on serving. More. Shima, who will shank that ball all the way to the bleachers. And Gianna Moore has now made this a tied game. This is now 12-12. Moore to sign. Monarch a little out of place here. Shima will send it deep and out of bounds. Moore will go back to the line again, and Frederick now taking the lead, 13-12. Moore, short serve, sign, sends it back over. Jami Martinez with the overpass kill. Oh my goodness, that is just what Frederick needs. Frederick now in the lead by 2. Monarch forced to call a timeout, try and reset. Something happened where Monarch just got stressed and they've effectively lost the lead, and now they're behind. It was a tied match, and that's just what Frederick needed, being down by 4, which sometimes, especially out on the court, can seem like a lot being down by 4. But Frederick was able to come back from that and really push hard and fight hard. And just like we said, winning those rallies is where it really counts the most.
Yeah.
Just because you have strong hitters and can get kills, yes, that's a good thing, but it's who can outlast the other the longest in rallies and who can make the less mistakes. And that's what Frederick is really doing well with right now, is they're making less mistakes than Monarch.
Yeah, 100%.
And Monarch is kind of not falling apart, but they're definitely not playing at the normal speed they were just a few points ago. Moore. Rollinger out to Shima. Moore with the dig. Tenbrock to Jami Martinez. Ava Malikwa will tip it over. Staub to Tenbrock to Reed, who will hit it deep, and Sign tries to get it up. And even so, it looks like the refs are saying someone was in the net on Monarch's side, and Gianna Moore will keep serving. Shima with the up. Rollinger sets to Malikwa, and Malikwa sends it out of bounds. Monarch looking for a touch call, however, they do not get it, and Moore will go back to the line again to serve.
Even after that timeout, Moore is just on a streak right now.
And that's what you want in a good player, is a timeout can't phase them.
Yeah.
Especially when serving. Is Monarch probably called that timeout to try and ice her out, and she was like, nope, I'm going to keep serving just the way I am. And that's exactly what she did. However, Malikwa just with the kill and sending Eva back to the line. Reed, Tenbrock gets there. Martinez hits right into Malikwa's block. And Monarch will keep serving. Backed right to Tatiana Staub. Tenbrock to Raymer. Sign gets it up. Malikwa blocked by Jami Martinez and Ava Reed. However, once she's blocked, she sends it right back over, and Frederick couldn't keep it up. Sending back to the line, making this set only a 1-point difference once again. However, this time Frederick's in the lead, 16-15. Back to Reed. Tenbrock back to Raymer, who will tip it over the block. Frederick once again blocked by Martinez. Staub keeps it up. Tenbrock back sets to Raymer. And Monarch was able to read that ball was going out of bounds and Wow, it looks like the refs are calling touch on that. They sure saw something we didn't, because I thought that was just out of bounds, but hey, we'll take it.
Yeah.
Tatiana Staub. Backed out to Malikwa, who is blocked by Addie Strozink and Isabel Raymer. This is definitely the Frederick volleyball team we know. 18 to 15 in the lead by 3. Staub. Sign gets it up. Back to Malikwa. Moore to Raymer, who will free ball it over. Sign to back. Tatiana Staub there. Reed hits it through the block, and Frederick will keep the ball. Frederick in the lead, 19 to 15. Monarch down by 4. Frederick only needs to push 6 to win. Backed out to Ramirez, who will tip down line. However, Ramirez was in the net. And just an unforced error right there for Monarch, giving Frederick once again the ball, now in the lead by 5. And Tatiana Staub only needs to serve 5 more times to get Frederick the win. Backed out to Ramirez. Strozink able to get a touch on that. However, the ball just kind of falls down on her right. No one there to get it back up. And Monarch is still in this game. Kate Shima hoping to give Monarch a little bit of a momentum here. Moore keeps it up. Tenbrock out to Ava, who hits it just with a little too much power, out of bounds. Shima again. Moore, Tenbrock gets there. Raymer will try and tip it over this time. However, just a small unforced error there by Raymer. No big deal. Frederick, however, now only in the lead by 2. Shima to Reed, to Tenbrock, to Raymer, who hits down line. Frederick now in the lead by 3. Izzy Raymer will go back to the line. Raymer sends it out of bounds. Monarch will get that ball right back. Ava Malikwa will serve. Right to Lily Pagel. Tenbrock. Moore sends it deep. Back to Ramirez, who is blocked by Addie Strozink and Ava Reed. That is just what you need as a defense right here, is a stuffed block in a close game.
Monarch can barely get past them. I mean, their hands are on fire.
Ava Reed. Zarski to Backed. Back sets to Riley. Looks like the refs are going to say Frederick was in the net on that one. And this game, once again, is only a 2-point difference with Frederick in the lead, 22 to 20. Petra Rollinger. Reed gets it up. Tenbrock will tip it over. Rollinger to Backed. Out to Zarski, who hits that ball out of bounds. Monarch looking for a touch call. They are not going to get it. And this will send Addie Strozic back to the line, hoping to push 2. Frederick in the lead by 3, 23-20. Strozic. Rollinger to Riley. Strozic up to Marisol. Out to Moore. Shima to Rollinger to Riley. Tenbrock sends it up. Moore will roll shot it deep. Sign keeps it up. Zarski will tip it now. Pagel sends it up and out of bounds. Monarch now only down by 2. Frederick needs to push 2 points in order to win this game.
It's a super tight game, but I can just see on Frederick's faces that their mentality is never down.
Van Nelson. Right to Tatiana Staub. Tenbrock out to Jami Martinez. Van Nelson keeps it up. Sign out to Becht. Pagel to Tenbrock. Frederick with the point. 24-21. Frederick only needs to push 1 more point to win this game. Tenbrock. Sign sends that ball out. Shima keeps it up. A little miscommunication there on Monarch. Tenbrock runs into the net a little bit there. And Monarch will send Maya Sign back to the line to serve. This game is 24-22. Frederick only needs 1 more point to win. Maya Sign hoping to keep Monarch in this game. Staub to Tenbrock. To Raymer, who will roll Charlotte. Shima to Rollinger. Back to Shima, who is blocked. They send it over. Tenbrock to Staub. Raymer hits it right into Malikwa's block. This game is now only 1 point. And Monarch may have a chance.
We just have to keep pushing.
Sign to Staub. Tenbrock will send it back to Moore, who is blocked by Malikwa. Moore able to get it back up and over. Rollinger to Malikwa, who hits it deep. And this set is now tied. And now the winner of the set now has to win by 26 points instead of 25. Frederick hoping to regroup here, call the timeout. Monarch has a chance here. They have a lot of momentum, especially since they just came back from a 4-point deficient where they were at 19 at one point, and I think Frederick was at 21. And now all of a sudden it is 24-24. And that's just the, I want to say, unpredictability of volleyball.
Oh, yeah.
Is where you don't know what's going to happen. And even when you think you're going to win, sometimes the other team can surprise you. And that's just where we're repeating ourselves here. But it's the most important is to have a strong mental game, a mental mindset.
I mean, that is really like the overall thing in volleyball is like you have to have such a big mental like mindset. Yeah.
Sign sends it to Staub. Ava Reed will send it just right back over. Rollinger to Malikwa, who will tip right into Jami Martinez block. That was huge for Frederick right there.
Even with the game so close, we just never stop.
And this will force Monarch to call a timeout now. And even though Frederick's in the lead by 1, it's still anybody's game here. And this is where we'll see more of what we just saw from Staub and Reed, where teams, Monarch or Frederick, might just start sending it over in two to trick out the other team's defense.
Yeah.
And
sorry. I mean, they really just have to like watch the ball the entire time, because you never know where it's coming, where it's going, like anything.
Especially now, it's going to be a game of who's more prepared. And, well, not prepared, just who's more adjustable to get to those deep balls, but then also be ready for a tip or a block. Just anything at this point. Anything goes at this point. Gianna Moore serves it deep and out of bounds. This game is now 25-25. And this set the winner will now have to win by 27 points. Eva backed into Reed. Tembrock back to Reed, who is blocked. Raymer there. Martinez back to Moore, who just a little late on that swing, hits it into the net. And Monarch now in the lead by 26-25. And once again, this is anybody's set right here. Backed. Who serves it out of bounds. This set is once again tied 26-26. And now the winner of the set has to get 28 points. We're just going to keep climbing and climbing for how many points you have to get. Staub serves to Shima. Back to Shima. Frederick gets a block up. Raymer keeps it up. Reed will roll shot it. Shima back row to Van Nelson. Marisol keeps it off the net. Addie Stojik with the tip. Back tried to keep it up, but Frederick will get the point, making this game 27-26. Frederick only needs to push one more point to win. Van Nelson to Malikwa. Hits through Frederick's block. This game is now 27-27. And once again, this is anybody's game, and we now have to go to 29 points instead of 28. Monarch will send Shima back to the line. Reed to Tembrock to Raymer, who will tip. Ramirez there. However, she sends it a little too close to the net. Back can't get there. And this will send Izzy Raymer back to the line. Frederick now in the lead 28-27. Raymer needs to get one more point to win this game. Maya Sign back out to Zarski, who will tip. Staub sends it out. Tembrock tries to keep it up. However, Monarch will go back and serve. This game is now 28-28. And now has to go to 30 for anyone to win.
Wow, I feel like it's just going up and up.
Crowd getting loud here, trying to psych out Malikwa. Pagel gets it up. Verostic out to Strozink, who will really good roll shot there. Tricked out Monarch's defense. Shima able to get a touch on it. However, Frederick will get the point, and it looks like the crowd someone ran into the ref stand.
Wow.
If that doesn't tell you how intense this game is, of the ref stand almost fell and the crowd and Frederick gonna go into a huddle here, same with Monarch. Gonna talk it through. Frederick only needs to win by one. Monarch can push one and make this once again a tied set. and make the game go to 31. And at this point, we're just saying the same thing over and over again, but this is legitimately anyone's match right here. And it's just who's going to make the first error.
Yeah.
It looks like they're going to have to replace the ref stand, or hopefully they're fixing the current one. Well, this is like a free timeout for both teams.
Yeah.
With the ref stand being down, both teams, they just get to regroup and talk and say what's been going on. And honestly, it's like a little blessing in disguise. Both teams are probably tired. And
it's always good to take a breath, you know?
I did not think this last set would be as close as it is, but here we are. And now, like we said, it's just who's going to make the first error. And we'll go from there. Monarch having a little fun on the court here. Frederick in the huddle regrouping.
Here comes the other ref stand.
The heroes of the volleyball team brought the other ref stand. Monarch getting their own little rowdy crowd over there with their players. Frederick's rowdy crowd. The atmosphere in here has definitely changed. It's gone from being a lot. I don't want to say less energetic, but right now it is definitely buzzing.
Like intense.
It's a lot more intense in here, especially with such a close game, because regular volleyball matches end at 25, but when you tie, you just have to keep going until you don't tie. And that is what they are doing. Frederick having a little fun on the court now.
Looks like they're playing Pac-Man, maybe? Is that what it's called?
Hard to tell from up here. Big hand for Dr. Fox and all the girls on the volleyball team for being able to act quick and get us another ref stand so that this really close game can continue. And this game can start back up. Ava Reed will serve. Ava's had some really good serves so far this entire game. And it is up. Zarski to sign. Monarch will free ball it. Stop to Tembrock. Moore gets down the line and will win the set for Frederick. Oh my goodness. That was just the win Frederick needed.
Yes, what a game.
Especially with Monarch. Monarch just came off of a win against Niwot, and Niwot's a very tough team this year. And so for Frederick to be able to pull a win against Monarch is huge.
Oh yeah, and going into the last few games of the season, I mean, this is definitely going to like keep them going, like knowing like that this is like a hard team and we just beat them.
Yeah, and Frederick especially since they've been on like a little bit of a rut here, went on a 3-game losing streak. And so to be able to win against such a tough opponent like Monarch is just huge. It's huge. And I think Frederick, just to go from here, will definitely hopefully have a better season from here till the end of the regular season.
Yeah.
And Frederick, as we saw tonight, they have a lot of strong servers that were able to get Frederick back into the game, especially the close one against Monarch. Gianna Moore, Ava Reed, Marisol Tembrock, Izzy Raymer. They're all exceptional servers, and that's what you want to see on the Frederick team. And I think just the teamwork, communication, and the will to win is what got Frederick this win. And now we will send it down to Megan Curtis and Ava Reed.
Thank you, Frieda. I am down here with Ava Reed. What is your biggest takeaway from the game tonight?
I thought it was really great how we were able to really hone in as a team together and just really finish together, no matter how hard it was, no matter who was playing, serving, whatever it was. I was just really impressed that we were able to come together as a team.
So talking about honing in, what was the biggest communication piece as a team tonight?
When we would take timeouts or we'd come in for huddles, we always told each other to stay aggressive, to keep swinging, and just keep being able to batter the ball every time, and that's what got us here.
Thank you, Ava. Back to you, Frieda.
Thank you, Megan, and thank you, Ava Reed. On tonight's Golden Eagle Broadcast Network, I've been your play-by-play Frieda Wichman here alongside Brielle Halloran. Our camera 1 operator has been Alex Kim, camera 2 Elliot McKendry, PA Ireland Carnes, and director and technical producer Marcus Key. And we'd like to thank Carly Evans for her special appearance on tonight's broadcast. And if you would like to hear more of Carly Evans, tune in and listen to Carly and Dante Lechuga on tomorrow's broadcast for Friday Night Football against Pooter. On behalf of the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network, we thank you for tuning in and watching, and have a good night.
Oh my gosh.